This is an exchange of views with the Commission, which is represented by Monsieur Luc Devigne. The Commission is here to inform us about the latest developments in the negotiations regarding this topic. The seventh round of the negotiations took place last January, the 26th to 29th of that month. The main negotiated issues included civil enforcement, border enforcement, enforcement in the digital environment, and transparency. While the EU is in favor of the ACTA applying also to patents and geographical indications, the United States insists on only covering trademarks. Furthermore, there is still a great difference of opinion in the issue of transparency. However, at least on the EU level, the Member States are slowly moving towards being in favor of a greater transparency. So to start our exchange of views, I'll give the floor to the Commission, Monsieur Luc Devigne, to provide us with the information as detailed as possible about the situation of the negotiations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, we are into these ACTA negotiations since 2008 now, with a view to provide an international framework to improve the enforcement of intellectual property rights. And it is, of course, important that we, EU, having many jobs relying on international protection of these IP rights, are present in order to improve the international environment there for our citizens. And as you know, we are also facing in Europe a large amount and a large increase of imported counterfeit and pirated goods. The ACTA agreement should include provisions on several aspects of IP enforcement, civil, criminal, customs enforcement, as well as the rather new field compared to existing international framework, the Internet. We are in these negotiations, as you know, with 11 of our trading partners, such as Australia, Canada, Japan, Korea, Mexico, Morocco, New Zealand, Singapore, Switzerland, and the United States. And the goal that the parties to the treaty have declared is to have these negotiations completed as soon as possible. I should underline that the ACTA treaty is an enforcement treaty and not a substantive IP law treaty, not affect the determination of what kind of rights should be protected or should not be protected in each of the members. We have already, as you know, reported in writing the last round of negotiation in Guadalajara, and I suppose that you don't want me to read out the report which has already been sent and which actually was also found on the Internet. But I should underline that the goal of ACTA is not to target non-commercial private individuals, either through border controls or also because I know it's been rumored several times that the ACTA is not about imposing internet termination rules such as famous three-strike rules around the world. And this is clearly not the case. I say that because I've read it several times that it was what was being discussed. So I think this is what we have at this stage. We still have more round to go, the next one in New Zealand. We will also organize the Commission a third stakeholders information session probably at the end of March, as well as we will circulate the commonly agreed document updated on the ongoing negotiations with all the other ACTA parties. Thank you.
you. Now let's go for the discussion with the committee members. Since I have a number of requests from various speakers, I think it wise to fix the limit of the speaking time. I'll give the floor to Daniel Kasperi from the EPP.
Ja, geschätzte Kollegin.
Colleagues, although we don't know much about ACTA because we don't get enough information as a parliament, not at all, but I would ask 3 questions to the Commission. First of all, it's obvious that many branches in the US are interested in ACTA, but what about European industry? Where is the interest there in having such an agreement? It's been said that the implementation of rights over own equity should be improved. Well, we've talked about criminal law. Well, we don't have that at EU level, so how can we approach that subject and that difficulty without that level of law? And something that upset me, and I think the Commission knows that we in the Parliament are unhappy about the lack of transparency. I think we're all unhappy across the political groups, but I recently read an article suggesting that recent negotiations saw representatives of 7 member states as well as the Commission being in attendance. Now, I think we need to address the issue that post-Lisbon, the Parliament should be on an equal footing, and it should be able to play its full role, and we should have representatives of the Parliament and not just the Member States. What does the Commission think about that? Because I think this level of lack of transparency is unacceptable, particularly when certain Member States are better informed of these matters than we are in the European Parliament.
Next speaker is, thank you, Daniel, is Bernd Lange from Socialists and Democrats.
Thank you. I have 2 questions, or 2 sort of areas of questions, really. First of all, the approach, the way negotiations are being conducted on the, well, we now have the Lisbon Treaty in force, and as regards ACTA negotiations, I haven't seen any signs of anything happening. Either any sufficient level of information about the talks or negotiations, nor any evidence that the European Parliament is involved. There was a hearing. Mr. de Gucht said that the Parliament would be sufficiently involved, and in the IIA, between the Parliament, the interinstitutional agreement between Parliament and Commission, we have to have that level of equal footing between Parliament and Commission. So the question has to be, where is the information for us? And where is the evidence of being on an equal footing and playing an equal role with the Member States in the negotiations? Secondly, the second issue is that of transparency. There are many rumours that the issue of restricting use of the Internet is going to be discussed under the ACTA agreement. Now, in computer world in New Zealand, a text has been published that is apparently the basis for negotiating this agreement. It comes from the US. I'd like to know from the Commission if you can guarantee that regarding a restriction of Internet use, that you won't take the same approach as with the telecoms package, and thus not ensure that the Internet acts as aider and abettor of economic interests. I think free access to the Internet is a fundamental right, and it should then also be clearly, this should be clarified. That's it, Chairman. Thank you.